Fellowship. So, thanks, Allison, for the intro. And it's awesome working with Foresight and Vitalism. My co-founder, Nathan, is here as well at the LBF, who also is a co-founder of Vitalism. What is the point of the LBF? The LBF is very concerned about the rate of progress on solving aging, and we really don't like this idea of mortality. I've been in the industry for over 20 years now. Since I started doing research, we still have 0 approved treatments for aging. People don't realize how bad the situation is. And we think it's an emergency. And it doesn't matter how much sauna, lifting, supplements, or zone 2 training you do, you're going to only shift this a couple pixels. Let's be honest with ourselves. Come on, guys. So, what's the problem? We have an outdated paradigm, I think, in the way that we do biology. Biology is one of the last sciences to become quantitative, to become data-driven, to become done using models. We have this industry called the pharmaceutical industry, and it has a lot of weight and an inertia and institutional power, but it's not designed to solve aging. It was never designed to solve a problem like aging. Aging is just fundamentally very, very difficult. It's more difficult to understand aging than it is to understand biology, actually, because aging is, you can think of biology as a generative algorithm that produces your soma. That's actually only about 18 megabytes if you compress it. Aging is everything, all the byproducts, all the stuff that it wasn't coded for, that wasn't selected for. It's actually potentially more complicated than biology. And funders just aren't interested in problems that are that difficult, to be honest, for the most part. There's a few exceptions out there, and we appreciate you greatly. But for the most part, people want something with a faster ROI. Yeah, and so because of that, the amount of funding is trivial. So another problem is that people keep trying to come up with reductionist models of aging. There's been, telomeres, antioxidants, the information theory of aging. There's a long list of them, and they always fail. I've been watching them fail one at a time. And there's a really good paper that anybody who believes in reductionist theories of aging should read, which is called No Privileged Level of Causality. Everything in your body is affecting everything else. Every molecule in your cell is affecting every other molecule. It's a mess. Yeah, and also a lot of wishful thinking. So we actually have, people like to say that we've extended lifespan in model organisms. In vertebrates, perhaps that's true, but that's mostly due to effects that wouldn't have any use in mammals. It's like diapause, things like that. And we only actually have one thing that extends lifespan in mice so far, if you use the Acetus 900-day rule, where you look at different strains. So yeah, a lot of bottlenecks. We have a paper on this. You can just find it on the Long Bio Fellowship website. And we have a roadmap. So we focus not on pharmaceuticals. We focus on biostasis, replacement, and advanced bioengineering. I don't have time to get into those right now, but if you want to go super deep into them, come to an LBF cohort, and you'll spend, I think the next one is going to be a 5-day long one, and you're going to spend 5 days with people who are experts in this. You're going to be brainstorming, problem solving. It's not passive information consumption. We're going to put you to work. What about AI? I don't put AI on the roadmap because it's just a tool to make everything go faster. Both cryo replacement and bioengineering, we can make all of those go faster if we use AI in our workflows. And I can see someone in particular that likes this slide. Retro is one of my favorite companies in the space. Yeah, biostasis. Everybody here, there's probably knows about that. You can make improvements to biostasis through modeling. For instance, if you're going to try to predict better cryoprotectants or mixes of cryoprotectants, or do actual dry lab experiments where you're trying to lower the search space. In replacement, we're going to need connectomics, because if you're going to do gradual brain replacement, you need to be able to study in your while you're developing that process whether your tissue grafts are forming the correct connections. And so connectomics requires AI to analyze the data. That's just one example of many. Same with bioengineering, that's more obvious. Of course, we need to be able to collect a lot of data, model aging. Comparative biology, I want to highlight just some cool news. There's this thing called the Vitalism initiative started by Todd White, which supposedly just raised $710 million to do a giant comparative biology study. I'd like to verify that, but if that's true, that's really cool. Because the bottleneck is data. How are we going to generate enough data to actually solve aging? Who here knows how much the protein data bank cost? Close your eyes. Like, this is basically the training set for AlphaFold. Most people, when we interview people for the LBF, we ask them how much they think the training data set for AlphaFold cost, and they usually guess somewhere around 5 to 20 million. It was $20 billion over like 40 years. So, and that's just for one super narrow problem within biology. The amount of data we're going to need to actually, simulate cells and solve aging is so much more than that. Who's going to pay for that? How are we going to generate it? I think that's something we should all be thinking about today. Because we need to collect a lot of data, do fully automated closed-loop genetic perturbation experiments in order to build genetic CAD tools, digital twins, a human intervention testing program. That's all the stuff that we need to do for bioengineering. I'm just going to say that, and we also need to solve the delivery problem. If anyone doesn't know what the delivery problem is, you should really look it up. It's a major bottleneck. Everybody working in reprogramming is not going to be able to actually do anything in humans unless we solve the delivery problem. And so far, everybody I've talked to, including Retro, says, I hope somebody else solves that problem. So, why does the LBF exist? We want to help catalyze the creation of the entities that could solve these problems. The Thalian Initiative is a good example. Retro is a good example. The Weiss Institute is a good example. But we need dozens of these. We need an order of magnitude or two more of these if we're going to have a chance at solving this in our lifetime. So if you want to join the LBF and dive into the deep, dark science, we'll teach you what are the different things that need to be built, and we'll hopefully help you get to work on them or invest in them or find a co-founder. We are generally just like a network to make all the connections necessary to move forward fast, and we're focused on the technicals. We're not talking about the social stuff. That'll be for the next speaker. So that's what I got. Oh yeah, and we have cool swag for sale over there. This is really hot.